What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
Welcome back, folks, to the Harsh Language Podcast. This is episode number 123.
Yo, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
We might just end it here. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, magic number.
ABC,
Marvin
1, 2,
has not
3.
seen enough
Everything.
movies yet.
Nah, I'll just basically the same as I was 3 years ago.
We haven't even made.
Has it been 3 years? No,
Yeah,
2
about-
years.
just
No, it has
about.
been 3 years.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years.
We've scratched the surface, but that's about it.
Yeah. And Marvin hasn't even. We haven't even made a
Haven't seen
dent.
shit.
No.
Once you watch Lord of the Rings, that we'll end it on that. That'll be the grand finale.
That's why I said we should maybe do more of them, but
Yeah,
we
but
kind of talked about it. But
it ruins like the kind of like special nature of it. And as we grow and that becomes more of like the thing that people look forward to, you kind of dilute it by doing it more often, you know?
let us
But-
know in the
Yeah.
comments if you'd want to see more
Yeah, more,
of
make Marvin
first
watch.
time watches, or maybe we should try throwing in some of them as streams
Or reactions.
something like that.
Reaction videos are fucking crazy. People love that shit. I don't know why. I'm not gonna lie though. I told you guys this. I watched like thousands of hours of Superman trailer reactions. So
I love reactions when it's something interesting, like
yeah,
when Kendrick was destroying Drake in the rap beef. I was watching
Yeah.
in the
reaction
rap beef.
videos. That shit was fire. I watched like hours
Yep.
of fucking
Uh,
reaction videos to that shit.
did you guys have a good week?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hope everybody out there in internet land, you also had a good week. We got a good one today. We're watching Conclave, or we watched Conclave. We're going to be talking about it. One of the Oscar nominees this year for Best Picture, I believe, and some other stuff. The Oscars were this past Sunday, so a couple days ago. We're going to be talking about that, and we have our best and worst picks of the year that we've watched. So stick around for those things. I'm sure our best and worst, particularly our worst, are going to be pretty funny. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to talking about that. What have you guys been up to this week? You been watching anything good or?
Actually, yeah, I've been watching that show. I kind of talked about it in the chat.
Yeah.
It's
Paradise?
called no, not Paradise. I need to start Paradise.
People are losing their minds about Paradise.
This one's called Common Side Effects. So
Oh,
I told you guys about this show, Scavenger's Reign, that I
Yes,
watched
yes,
a little bit ago. That was really good.
Yep.
So this is the same creator, and this one's about a magic mushroom that is the cure. It's a cure-all for everything. So this guy found it in like some crazy rainforest or something, and then so now he has Big Pharma after him, the government, DEA. It's an animated show, but it's really good.
Right.
Really, really good. It's like 20-minute episodes. It's an easy watch. This one's actually on Adult Swim, whereas the other one was Netflix. So this one might take off.
Didn't Adult Swim get? Isn't it done? Isn't that over with?
Not that I know of.
I thought Adult Swim was like over now.
I haven't heard that.
I could have sworn that happened.
They still on Cartoon Network, as far as I know.
Didn't they lose like? Oh, they had the big layoffs in 2020. That's what it was.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, they had to cancel a bunch of shows. Okay, I guess I'm remembering it as like just Adult Swim itself went away,
yeah.
but they just apparently they had like a huge layoff during COVID.
that's fair.
Yeah, streaming's going through its what do you call it? Injections. Everybody's taking right now.
The Fauci ouchie?
The get skinny injection.
Ivermectin?
Oh, ivermectin. Oh, you mean
No.
shedding weight?
Ozempic.
Oh, Ozempic. Yeah.
Ozempic, yeah. And the film industry is going through it. So
I was just joking.
ivermectin.
Didn't
I
you
was just
say
joking,
that?
and he's like, "Yeah," and you're
Licking
like,
the
"Oh
horse
yeah,
paste.
ivermectin." I'm like, "What?"
Hey,
No,
don't be
not
saying
the
horse
Coke
paste.
shit.
Don't be saying horse paste.
Yeah.
Come on, that's misinformation. Joe Rogan
Yeah,
will come
well,
after
I didn't
you.
say Joe
Gibson.
Rogan was taking that shit. I would never say that. 'Cause
Speaking
I
of
don't know what he
Gibson will
thinks.
come after you.
Speaking
He
of
was
Joe
like-
Rogan,
I'm not saying it, but two of my coworkers, everything's cured after they took it.
everything, and they're magnetic. Speaking of Joe Rogan and what we watched this week, so I actually watched
Bill Murray.
2 full episodes of Rogan this week, and I don't really watch him much anymore because he's a fucking
I don't either.
a huckster and platforms oligarchs who are taking over our
I
country.
never really watched him that much. Only when he has good. If there's an interesting person on, I'll watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, he had Bill Murray on this week, and
It was good.
it was the opening was one of the greatest moments in pop culture history, I think, because Bill Murray is the only person who could do this, but Joe Rogan is like a kid in a candy shop. He's like, man, you're one of my favorite actors. I've loved you since I was a kid. And you know, it's every so often I get a guest on where I'm like, wow, I'm sitting in front of this person and you're one of them. And Bill Murray's just like, without missing a beat, he's like, oh, all right. Hey, I haven't even heard of you until today. He's like, I actually wasn't even sure what you looked like when I came in here.
What the fuck?
Bro. And it was like 100% genuine. He wasn't trying to be funny. And it's just something that only Bill Murray could do, is just deflate the ego, probably the biggest ego on the planet next to Elon Musk at this point. It was so fucking funny.
That's crazy.
I mean, I thought it was pretty good when they went in. Yeah, and then they went in the conversation about news radio because Bill, like, and Phil, and he didn't know that. He was like, so you worked with Phil, right? I didn't, you know, what the fact that Bill Murray didn't know what fucking news radio was kind of blew my mind a little bit, because Joe was telling about it. He's like,
bro, he's Bill Murray.
Andy Dick, John Lovitz, Phil Hartman, fucking Candace Bergman.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
the reason
shit,
he like destroyed a lot of his, not destroyed, but he strained a lot of his relationships over the years, Bill Murray, because of that. Like, he just keeps to himself, doesn't really give a fuck about the industry. He just wants to make people laugh. He famously doesn't have, and Joe mentions it, he famously doesn't have like an email. He said he only recently got one for his kids. He had like a 1-800 number for people to call him to like pitch him movie ideas. He only works with like a handful of directors that he knows are like good now, like Coppola and Wes Anderson. And a couple of others. So he's just that guy. And I just thought it was so funny that like, just so casually and like not maliciously, just completely just deflated Joe Rogan, like right off the rip. And then during the
it's kind of wild that you don't know who Joe Rogan is. Though.
Yeah. It was a good conversation overall. They talked about comedy and shit like that. And then they avoided politics for the majority of it. But at one point they started talking about San Francisco and like the homeless problem in California. And you know how Rogan's like all over that. That's why he moved to Texas, because they're just homeless people are just everywhere. And Gavin Newsom refuses to do anything about the homeless issue. And Bill Murray,
gotten bad.
I'm not saying it's good, but Bill Murray like casually and very effectively pushed back on some of Rogan's like nonsensical talking points about, specifically, he's like, the government, they're incentivized to keep the homeless out there. People get paid. And Bill Murray's like, people get paid to keep homeless people on the streets? And Bill Murray's like, Rogan's like, I'm a friend of mine. He's a lawyer. He was down there. I could show you. And Bill Murray interrupts him. He's like, who gets paid? And he's like, I could show you the names. We don't have to talk about it on the air and call them out, but I can show you. And it was just funny to see Bill Murray, who was a guy who like, you have no idea what his political position is, though during the conversation you get the impression he, I guess, leans a little bit left. But he's just not, he's like not in that sphere of Hollywood or politics or social media or anything. And to hear him like push back against just the dumbest shit that Joe Rogan says was just really funny and refreshing. It was great. Dusty, I'm sure you took it a little differently.
I mean, that was a good conversation.
Yeah,
I was in and out of the zone, in and out, not listening to the whole thing. But yeah,
there was no malice during the conversation. It was like very, very calm, but it was just funny that these few moments where Bill Murray like kind of like pushed back. And then I watched the one that he had Elon on to laugh at it. That was 3.5 hours. I'll never get back. So
yeah, I had no interest. Elon is an autist, and listening to him talk for 3 hours doesn't sound very interesting. He's a brilliant mind, and he's gonna do what he's gonna do. But
he's not even brilliant. Like, he's a very stupid man. You could tell from listening to him. He doesn't know anything about anything. Rogan's asking him about like rockets, the technology that SpaceX uses to like protect like these barriers on their rockets for like asteroids and projectiles. He can't talk about anything. He knows nothing.
Think he's just that lucky with everything he does?
He's not lucky. He just has money. He hires incredible
He made some good choices as far as acquiring businesses. Yeah,
he hires
I think so.
engineers and scientists that do all the work. Like he doesn't do anything. And he's always talking about like he's just a grit. He's like a fucking liar. How does he have time to work? He says he works like 160 hours a week in his companies, yet he's fucking grinding in Diablo and all these games
Fake
and
news.
shit. Like he's just such a fucking liar. He like wants so badly to be cool.
And that's the thing people bring up. Like if you lie about being good at video games, what else are you lying about that actually matters?
Right.
Like you're lying about insignificant things.
Yeah. And regardless of like the politics of it, he's just like, he just can't talk about anything. It's so clear. Like any question Rogan asked him, it took him like 20 minutes to stumble around it. And I'm not exaggerating. He was like, but
you just don't understand him.
Yeah. But when he was talking about, gutting social
The Biden stutter.
That's worse. When he was talking about cutting Social Security, he spit that out pretty succinctly for sure. But anyway, I digress. It was whatever. I watched some Joe Rogan this week.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, good on you.
Did you guys watch anything else? No, don't watch it. It's not worth it. I watched it so you don't have to.
Right. Suffer so we don't have to. I don't think I watched anything else.
How about you, Dusty?
Still watching the same stuff. Reacher comes out tomorrow or no, Thursday.
Reacher's been good.
1923 came out. It's pretty gangster so far this season.
My friend
just, animal killings because you're out in the wild in 1923.
Speaking of, what did I just close? My friend told me about a show with Bill Berg is the director. He does a lot of those, or Peter Berg, and he does a lot of those. Mark Wahlberg movies. He does a lot of Mark Wahlberg movies. He has a show out, American Primeval. My buddy's been like telling me it's pretty good to watch it.
Yeah. I told you I watched it.
Did you?
It's pretty good.
Sorry, my bad. I missed that part.
I think I just called it American Primeval, but that's just my lexicon.
Yeah, he was saying it's pretty violent.
Western.
Taylor Kitsch does a pretty good job.
Apparently, Peter Berg. I don't know why I keep calling him Bill Berg. Peter Berg. He has a plan to do like several seasons that each deal with like a different time period.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I understood it, so
is this show complete?
It's Netflix, so I assume so. Yeah.
Oh, Netflix.
Yeah,
it's only 6 episodes.
Like it's out. You can. Yeah, it's a little mini series that you can watch.
Nice.
Mormons do not look very good in this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it's about like westward expansion.
Mormons don't look good ever.
Yeah,
they don't.
It's about a lady and her son trying to get to her husband.
I see.
And the travel across the plains. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I bro. I've been watching
oh shit.
I've been watching Reacher. Reacher's been good so far. Not surprised. Marvin, you gotta get on Reacher, bro. Such a good show. What?
I got other shit to watch.
It's a good show. Listen, if you like
Meathead.
Don't you like fuck around and find out content? I know I do.
Do I?
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's not your thing.
I like fuck around and find out content when it's not a fucking big hulking menace type dude. Like I already know what this motherfucker's gonna do. He's fucking.
That's what's great about it. It's like the Punisher.
Hulk. Yeah, but in this one, he's out. He's out.
Hulk.
Bigger dude.
Yeah.
There's a bigger Hulk.
This season is a bigger guy.
Who is it? The Mountain?
I don't know.
Pretty much.
He's huge. This guy, whoever he is.
What's that guy's name? From Game of Thrones, the Mountain.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I know you're talking.
That's his show name. What is this? I can't even pronounce
it's a weird
his name.
name.
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
So yeah, I've been watching some other stuff. I watched a couple movies this week aside from Conclave, but I watched a mini series called Interior Chinatown. Have you guys heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned it a couple months ago, I think, when it got announced, and I said I was like kind of looking forward to it, and then I forgot about it. It's with Jimmy O Yang, the comedian. But this is based on a book. It was really interesting. Taika Waititi was part of it. And it's about this guy who, I don't even know if I could accurately explain it. It's framed as like, it's written as if it's like a screenplay. So it's interior Chinatown, interior referring to a screenplay. When you're describing a scene, you're like interior wherever or exterior here. So he plays like he lives in Chinatown, but he's an extra on like a TV show about two detectives, and it's like he's an extra in a detective show. So it's like a meta thing. Like you're watching the life of an extra. That's cool. And he aspires to like be more than just like a guy in the background of a thing. And he starts to like do stuff. There's like a little mystery involving his brother, who was like, his brother was like a kung fu master, and they called him Kung Fu Guy on the show. And it's like, it's about, as far as I understand it, it's like about like Asian Americans. Yeah, it's like about Asian American stereotypes, and like more broadly being like just kind of like stepping out of like your predetermined like, I guess, role, I guess, and just striving for. Yeah, it was really good. It gets a little like kind of muddy here and there because I could barely even describe it. So, but it jumps in and out of like this thing of like, there's a lot of like little plot holes and stuff like that, but they didn't ruin it. It was good. I would recommend it. It was like, I think 10 episodes. Yeah, 10 episodes. It was pretty funny. Some good action in it. The mystery was pretty interesting, I thought. But yeah, so that was cool. Recommend it. Do you know the comedian Stavros, the big dude? He's
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Daisy.
So he made a movie like on his own dime, put together like a little indie film called Let's Start a Cult. I watched that. Very funny. It's like a ridiculous comedy, one of those ones that I've been talking about. And it's cool. We're starting to see more and more of these. Like they're coming back. These like just dumb, like not to be taken seriously comedies about stupid premises. And he just plays like a dumb dude who's in a cult, and he's like annoying, and the cult hates him. So one night he gets sent out to like do like a random task or whatever. And when he comes back, the cult members have already ascended without him. So they all like S-worded without him because he was annoying. So he gets upset and pissed, and then he tries to start like his own cult after that to like get like a new family. It was a very funny movie. Like if you like him and just comedies in general, I would definitely recommend it. It's got a 6.0 at IMDb, which is like, you know, not great, but it's a funny movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Dark comedy.
When I first started watching The Bear,
is he in The Bear?
No, but Maddie Madison is, and I was like, is that him? But it wasn't. It's similar looking. Oh,
Maddie Madison's, he's the chef guy, right?
I don't know.
This guy, yeah, he's a chef.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I guess that's why he's in The Bear. That makes sense.
He's hilarious though. He was a great actor too.
His YouTube channel is funny. He like curses a lot, and like he's very like, he does like chef videos, but they're like comedy, I guess, driven. It's good. Yeah. And I also watched Captain America: Brave New World. Dusty, did you watch it yet?
I have already seen it. Yes.
Okay, there was actually a pretty good copy of it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Well, I think when we talked last week, I think that's what I said.
Yeah. What did you think of it? It was better than I expected it to be, honestly. Not good, but it was better than I expected.
Well, like I said, it was. They said it was the worst Captain America.
Oh, like not even close.
Feels about right.
Yeah, I mean, there's no comparison.
Ant-Man 3 did better than it, which
I think this was better than. Right. I think this was better than Quantumania. I fucking hate Quantumania. It's my least favorite of the Marvel movies, for sure, hands down.
It had some interesting stuff in it, but I mean, I don't know. Hideo, did you see his tweet?
I have watched Captain America: Brave New World. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it was just inconsequential. Is really what it was. Like, there's no reason to have made it, really, because it felt like to me. Go ahead.
Felt flat.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like what they like.
I think mid was my review of
Yeah.
it. It's a pretty mid movie.
Yeah. I would say mid is probably the best descriptor. That being said, I thought Harrison Ford was great. No surprise, he's always good in everything. I thought Mackie was great, and I like Mackie as Cap. I just don't think this story was compelling at all. Really, it's like a sequel to the Hulk from fucking 20 years ago that nobody remembers, and like the movie has to do so
I
much.
remember it.
I remember it too, but I'm saying like in the grand scale of the MCU, it's like the least fucking remembered movie at this point.
Eric Bana, right?
No, that's not pre-MCU. That's the Ang Lee movie. Yeah, I'm talking about the Ed Norton one, the one that really kicked off the MCU. It came out before Iron Man.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr. was in the post-credit scene for it at the bar.
Ross was in both of them, wasn't he? I thought Ross carried through most of those Hulk films.
No, the Ang Lee one with Eric Bana was not at all connected. There's probably a Ross in it, but not the same one. That Ang Lee movie's so bad. But anyhow, yeah, I don't know. It just felt it was like a sequel to the Hulk, but also like a sequel to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is really what bothered me. I'm like, you just you're still dealing with the things of that show, which I thought we dealt with already because of that show, which is like,
and they ran in
a black Captain America.
They ran into the problem that they have now, where what you praise them for not having before, like none of their shows really you had to watch to see into the movies. If you go to the movies, you watch the movies, you see the movies, you know the story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go to the movies and you watch the movies, you don't know the story because you haven't watched the shows that are on Disney Plus because you're not subscribed or you're not keeping up or you don't care.
That's what happened.
And so you're like Hideo Kojima and you're like, what the fuck happened? What? I mean,
yeah, they're stuck in
kind of know that he gave him the shield, but why is he Captain America now? Why?
They're stuck in this weird limbo where like they I don't know. It's like the movies that came out in the past like couple years like assumed you watched the shows. This one didn't assume you watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So
but
like,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was canon for like the first couple of seasons until it wasn't, and now maybe none of it is, or maybe all of it is. But
well, I don't see what that show doesn't have anything to do with this. I'm simply saying like they like the Marvels assumed you watched Miss Marvel on Disney Plus in a big way.
Right.
This movie assumed you did not watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier and basically gave you that plot 2.0 for those who didn't watch it. And I was just sitting there like, I already watched all this. Like, what are you doing? Because it's about that. It's about the being like, because Marvin, you watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's like that whole show is like, man, I don't know if I'm worthy enough for the shield. And then it's like, it goes from that to being like, well, no, it's a balancing act. It's both. I don't know if I'm worthy for the shield. I don't know if I could fill the shoes of Steve Rogers. Do I have to fill those shoes or should I be my own Cap, which is ultimately the decision? And then now that I've accepted the role, what does it mean to be Captain America in a country that historically doesn't treat minorities and the black community very well? As a black guy dressed in Captain America suit with this shield, it's like a very interesting thing. And I thought the show kind of just like
it was enough,
wrapped it up, and now we could see him being Captain America, but it's more of it. And it's like, it's so much so that there's like several lines in the movie where it's like, they just remind us, you're not Steve Rogers. And it's like, we know, but he's his own guy. Like, I thought we dealt with that already.
The exposition was ridiculous.
Yeah, Marvin, you thought the exposition
have you
fucking
talked
heretic
to have you
was
talked
bad?
to Betsy? You know, my daughter.
Bro, I laughed about that. I watched it with Ed. Shout out. And it's the same thing. That's what I said, because nobody remembers that fucking Hulk movie.
But yeah, but if you know the Hulk, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's just
I mean, but what I was saying, like what I was getting to about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is it's like the Daredevil and all the Netflix shows. Like Marvel needs to get back into like, this is the character, this is how the character is in the movies, and this is what they are in the movies, and they need to have those story arcs, and those need to be tied up in a bow.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you want to watch something else, hey, we've got this show. Like Hawkeye was a good example of that. Of like, you've already seen this character, you know this character. Like this is just a side story. Like he goes to New York on the holiday and some shit happens, right? Like that's a good. Hey, go if you want more about this character, rather than hey, you have to go watch this show, Captain America. You know, Sam Wilson.
The only,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem they're having.
The only pushback I'll give you on that is, yes, I think that I love that show too, by the way. Probably my favorite one so far. But it introduced 2 new characters. It introduced what's her name? And
Echo
and Kate Bishop. So
yeah.
If you haven't watched that show, like Marvin probably hasn't, and he watches Doomsday in a couple years, he's gonna be like, who the fuck is this? A female Hawkeye? Who the fuck is this? Echo? But like it's
yeah, but you could get that in like a Young Avengers movie. You could still get those introductions of like, hey, it's me, and you'll get that established. But
yeah, for sure.
I mean, I get it, but
the shows need to.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think
it's a little bit different.
I think the shows need to serve as
additional content
that's not required.
Not necessary.
Yes, the strategy, of course, was to funnel people to the service, right? But that's clearly not working out for them because they're
that was
hemorrhaging
Bob
viewers.
Paycheck.
Yeah, Bob
which
Paycheck.
is hilarious.
I know. I watched it too.
I had to run that back. I was like, did he say that wrong? No,
dude,
he actually made a joke, and that's brilliant.
Dude,
shout out to Ryan, dude.
I did the exact same thing. I was watching it with Ed. Shout out. Marvin, we're talking about Screen Crush. They did a video on like whether the MCU could save itself or something like that. And he brings up the executive who made the decision to like start like pumping out content, and his name is Bob Chapek, but Ryan Airy, the host, calls him Bob Paycheck. And like I heard it, and his name is on the screen at the same time, and you like you see the word and you hear it, you're like, wait a second. And then I went back and I did it again, and I was like, oh, he did say Paycheck, and it's very funny. It was a very funny little sneaky little thing, and it executed well. So shout out for that, for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Brave New World didn't need to exist. It was okay. I'll never watch it again. Like the only thing it was just a weird movie. It was like I said,
made about 350 million. I think it needs 500 million to break even, is what they're saying after all the reshoots and delays and everything else. But
it's a Hulk sequel, but Hulk's not in it. It's a Falcon and Winter Soldier sequel, but like Winter Soldier's in it for like 1 second. I don't really. The only thing that it did to like sort of have an impact on the future of the MCU is the fact that like, oh, hey, remember the fucking giant celestial sticking out of the earth that we haven't referenced in 5 years? Well, we're referencing it now. It also is the source of adamantium, which is stronger than vibranium. So good luck. We'll reference that in another 10 years. Like, okay. Which also makes no sense now, because why are they introducing adamantium into the MCU if it seems like Wolverine is going to be the Wolverine from Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine, like that?
Because in this universe, it's just been introduced, but in an alternate universe where the mutants have been around for a while, I don't know how they're going to do it. It's a good question, Dan, but
this multiverse shit's got to go. It's got to end quickly.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. So let's get into our best and worst of the year before we get into the news. So I didn't even really look at all the shit we watched, but I kind of knew like what my
I went back
were.
and looked at some of it and looked because I wanted to see what the IMDb ratings were, and some of the ones that I'm like, wow, that was terrible. I was like, holy shit, IMDb thinks this is like a 7. What's going on?
Do you have notes on that? Because I kind of like don't even remember all the shit we watched. I just know we watched some pretty good stuff, and we did watch some stinkers. So who wants to start? Marvin, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start.
All right, let's start. Let's all do our best first, and then we'll all do our worst.
Best first.
So what was your favorite movie we watched this year?
Last year.
2024
best movie we watched has got to be Civil War. That movie was just amazing.
That's
all
your
around.
favorite, huh?
Yeah. So the thing is, I almost messed up and picked Poor Things, but that was 2023.
Ooh.
But we covered it in 2024.
Poor Things was good.
Yeah, there's a lot early on in the list I noticed. Yeah.
And then also Godzilla was also 2023 release, but we
Ooh.
watched it 2024, so you can't use any of those if you so
Almost
happen
all
to.
the way into April, we were still watching 23 movies. I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
And
we did
once I
watch.
was looking at the list, I was like, we didn't have that many crazy like bangers. We had some good movies, but a lot of them were 2023 movies. Like Iron Claw was one we covered late.
Yep.
Like I said, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, all those were 2023 movies. So yeah, that's what I got.
So Civil War was your
Yeah,
favorite.
it was crazy to look back on it, but Civil
War,
was,
yeah. Obviously not counting the Make Marvin Watches because those are
Yeah, no, we're not counting those.
older
yeah.
usually.
No.
So yeah.
Did you go back
that's-
and look at and see what we rated it? Because I don't remember. Just out of curiosity. I didn't do
I
it for
didn't
my
know.
pick either, but I was just curious.
I did not. Nope.
This movie was very,
What-
very good.
Yeah.
We probably all gave it a bump. I mean, you guys probably gave it an 8 or a 9, and I gave it an 8.
I think I might have
7 or
gave it a
8.
10, honestly.
I might have gave this a
Yeah.
10.
because I
Yeah.
really, really liked it. I love Alex Garland. It was a movie I was looking forward to. I thought it was a fantastic movie. Unfortunately, it's only got a 7.0. I think this movie suffered, and you could see as much when you read the reviews and stuff. I think it suffered from like false advertising. Like it
Sure,
wasn't
yeah.
falsely advertised at all by the studio and the marketing. I think people
I think it
just
was
had,
brilliantly advertised.
I think people, just because of the time that this movie came out in our politics and culture war bullshit, I think people just had a preconceived notion of what this movie was going to be,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not what it was.
At all.
And you don't even like, because a lot of the complaints I remember at the time reading about it was like, we don't even find out about the Civil War and like what caused it. It's like, yeah, that's not the movie. That's not what the
Who
movie
gives
is
a
about.
fuck? Yeah. The whole thing, it was so eerie. Like
Mhm.
there's this big ass fucking civil war happening behind the scenes. But
Yeah.
so like some people are getting fucking killed in some states, but then you go to another state and it's like, oh, this is normal. But there's like there's armed people on the roofs.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
They're just in
Fantastic.
a Civil War. They don't, it's about these
Yeah.
characters though, not about the war itself. So
Just like Leave the World Behind is similar.
yeah, same thing. Doesn't matter
yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this movie was great. That's a good pick. I forgot about this one.
Yeah. Great pick. Well, I was dancing between 3 different movies actually.
Me too.
Because Alien Romulus
Ooh.
at the theater was a
Ooh.
fun one. It's a
Ooh,
great
yeah,
Alien
nice.
movie. It did not disappoint. It's not the greatest Alien movie, but it just was just fun to see at the theater. Dune 2 was another one. Obviously, that one didn't get any Oscar. It got a few Oscar awards, but we'll talk about that a little later. But it was Rebel Ridge. I loved this movie.
Rebel
Oh, wow.
Ridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Marvin, you weren't here for
wasn't-
this one, if I remember.
No.
I think you
I had
were on-
watched it though.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just there wasn't much to complain about in this movie. Not a lot of actors in it, but I love small movies like this where it's just like small town, small vibes, individuals, easy dialogue, witty and clever, and just genius and just well done. There's nothing to not like about this movie. I love
Yeah.
it.
I recently rewatched this with Ed. Shout out.
Shout out.
He hadn't seen it, and I was like, "Oh, this is a pretty good movie." He was interested because he's obviously a comic book fan. And this is our Jon Stewart. What's his name? Aaron Pierre. Yeah, I thought this movie was great too, and it's great a second time, so it has the rewatchability, even though you know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This reminds me, this is like a modern, like, what's that movie? Let me see.
By the way, Marvin, this is what Reacher is. By the way,
Oh, really?
Definitely
This
Reacher
this is
vibes,
like
yeah.
this gives me like modern like Walking Tall vibes.
Yeah.
If you remember,
Yeah, that
movie
too,
with the-
sure.
yeah, that's exactly what Reacher is. You'd like Reacher, I'm telling you,
maybe.
bro. There's
I'm
nothing-
surprised that this got a 6.8. Like that's ridiculous.
Well, because again, another movie I think that was like suffered from a little bit of a marketing issue, because this one was kind of falsely advertised a little bit and it's Netflix's fault. I don't think Jeremy Saulnier would have had any part of it. Obviously they don't, it's studio shit, but they marketed this as like a fucking John Wick kind of like revenge movie type of thing.
sure, yeah.
And I also think the marketing, if I remember correctly, kind of framed this as like small town, like racism, sort of racist white cops versus like black guy who's going to fuck them all up, which it kind of is that. Like, they're obviously racist, but that's not what the conflict is.
They're just greedy.
Yeah, the conflict doesn't have anything to do with race.
Corruption. Yeah, exactly.
It's just a broader corruption.
It's crazy that this is written and directed by the same guy. I don't even know.
He's a very good filmmaker. Yeah.
Okay, he's on other stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Green Room, amazing movie.
Oh.
Blue Ruin, amazing movie. I haven't seen Hold the Dark yet, but I've heard it's unfairly rated. But he also directed a couple of episodes of True Detective. He's a really good filmmaker.
That's cool. Written and directed that's big.
Oh,
that's crazy to me.
It must have been bad marketing because I didn't see anything about it. It wasn't on my radar until it came out, and then I watched it and I was like, oh yeah, this is good.
I had only seen the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get like this like racism story, but it's not that. It's broader corruption, which is why I thought it was brilliant, because in a sea of John Wick movies, and I said I watched Nobody earlier, which is also like a John Wick movie, but like a little bit of a spin on it. This was a revenge flick, but like he doesn't kill a single person in it, because his role, he is a former Marine. He trains the Marines in jiu-jitsu and like basically de-escalation. And so like as a de-escalation expert, he's just disarming them and like fucking doing judo throws and maybe breaking an arm or two. But like, I just thought it was a really good spin on that genre of action movie. So yeah, good pick. I love this movie too.
Yeah.
I also had a hard time. I was torn between a couple of movies that we watched. I really, I think I liked it more than you guys, but I really loved Bike Riders. When we watched that, ultimately, I just loved Honora way too much. I know that kind of is lame because that's like it won Best Picture and it's like the default, but this is my favorite movie we watched this year. I still
need to watch it.
It was so good in so many ways. And I'm so happy it cleaned up at the Oscars. Like Dusty and I pretty much talked about it when we reviewed the movie, that it was probably going to clean up. Definitely deserving. I've been seeing it's getting some hate now because apparently the director is like pro-Trump or whatever. Like, who fucking cares, bro? What does that have to do with his movie? Like, shut the fuck up. You're the reason why Trump won twice, because you're saying stupid shit on the internet.
Well, I mean, there's a whole section of society who thinks pornography winning an Oscar sweep is also
there was
vile,
also
but
there's one other thing I heard, and it's not confirmed, and I don't know if it's just somebody being like spreading misinformation to shit on the movie, but they shot the movie for, what was it, $6 million, I think, which is kind of unheard of when shooting in and around Manhattan. It's generally like very expensive to do. One of the things I've heard is that they maybe did some sussy things to skirt union laws to shoot it for cheaper than they would have had to otherwise. But I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But it's my favorite movie. I thought it was
good for them.
Yeah, I mean, shut the fuck up. It's the popular thing to shit on because it's popular, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved everything about this movie. I gave it a perfect score. It's the direction, the cinematography, the acting. It was phenomenal, and the story was great. I loved it.
I will be watching this still.
Yeah. This is a must watch for sure. And
Good movie.
That's my favorite movie. So let's move on to our worst movies of the year. Dusty, let's start with you on this one.
Well, this is where
we watched
when I was looking at some of the horror movies that we went through that were good or bad. I didn't even want to remember some of them. But it was the sequels, really. It had to be Gladiator 2 or Smile 2.
Ooh.
And
both real bad.
I don't know. I guess I would have to choose Gladiator 2 just because of how much money they spent on it. There's not much to like about this movie except maybe the costumes, because they got an Oscar nomination for that. And then they got snubbed apparently because I think Wicked won in that department.
Maybe.
Oh.
But I mean, the story was weird and didn't make any sense, and it was unoriginal, and they shoehorned some fucking shit in there at the end, and they used all the AI. It's just there's so much not to like about this movie.
That's fair.
I don't know.
All right.
This is just bad.
How about you, Marvin?
So my worst is gonna be Heretic.
Oh.
So Heretic, here's the thing. We did watch worse movies, but Heretic was the worst because of the letdown. Heretic was the biggest letdown.
Oh, okay.
For me.
All right. That's fair.
So that's why I chose this movie.
So you expected it to be good.
I expected it to be good.
Better. It wasn't. I'm not gonna say it was a terrible movie, but it's not.
It wasn't terrible.
It's not good either. Yeah.
It was slightly worse than Long Legs.
Yeah.
So
Long Legs catching strays out here. and I remember when we talked about it, it was really the exposition that we fucking like for ridiculous. The whole movie's exposition. The whole like second half of the movie is just
the exposition, just dropping the ball in the
shit.
Second half. Yeah.
A lot to not like about this movie. Very overrated. Definitely the most overrated movie I think we've watched. Even more overrated than Long Legs, I think.
Yeah. What does Long Legs have? Can you pull up the rating of that one too?
I sure can.
See, but I feel there's like because every horror movie we go to watch, it gets overhyped.
Wow.
Well, Dan's like, they're calling this the best horror movie of the year, and we're gonna watch it.
But hang on,
we watch it, and we're like, well, that was.
I was just gonna make the distinction.
Say.
Long Legs was overhyped, the most overhyped movie of the year. Heretic is the most overrated. Because if you go to even Rotten Tomatoes, the rating is like 96%. It's like certified fresh, which means it's like gigapop.
That's wild.
It's like
I can't believe Long Legs is rated less than Heretic.
Yeah.
That's a crime.
And Long Legs, we all agreed, is a good movie. Like it's a good movie.
Yes.
It's just not what they marketed it as, and it's not what we hoped it was going to be.
Yeah.
So that's important. But yeah, Heretic's a good pick. So we did watch a lot of stinkers. I just want to say I'm kind of there with Dusty. Smile 2 was my runner-up. Smile 2 sucks ass. It's such a nothing movie. Like it's so bad. Unfortunately, because the actress in it, I can't remember her name. She was very good. The lead actress. She like carried that fucking movie. She did a really good Naomi Scott. Like she did a really good job with what she was given. But that movie was just terrible. But Gladiator 2 is my for sure
you agree?
worst movie of the year. I think there are probably worse movies that came out in 2024 that maybe we didn't watch.
Sure.
Can't remember. But Gladiator 2 is such a glaring illustration of the late stage capitalism that we're experiencing and how it's just affecting every form of creative art on the planet. Just the absolute bastardization of everything that is fundamentally human, and just like art in general. Like art is like the one key defining feature of the human race. Like if an alien civilization came to Earth like 2,000 years from now and like there's no life left, they're gonna find remnants of the human race. It's gonna be our art. And everything just sucks now. Everything. Movies suck. Television sucks. Mostly video games suck. Music sucks. I don't read much, but books I'm sure aren't good either. And Gladiator 2 is just such a representation of that. It is such a low effort, like barely an attempt at something good, creatively bankrupt piece of shit. Like it's just so bad. You haven't watched it, right, Marvin?
I have not seen Gladiator 2 yet, no.
Just the least effort for maximum return and this is a shining example of that, in my opinion. Like Dusty said, their use of CGI, the story is stupid. It doesn't.
Yeah, we didn't watch Madam Web.
Oh yeah, that's fucking not. I totally forgot that existed. But like, people like this movie too. So the thing that really sucks in my mind is that like we are getting accustomed to the slop.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do we sit here and say on the podcast, like, yeah, it was okay. Like, it could have been better. It had potential. Like, they're training us to just accept dog shit.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. I was looking up some other people's thoughts on the worst movie of 2024, just to see if we covered any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, so Unfrosted was on some of these lists.
Oh, I haven't even
And I can't remember what we watched it, right?
No, we didn't.
Well, no.
Or I watched it. I think maybe I watched it.
Yeah, you've probably seen it. Yeah.
Oh, this
They
is
do
this
have an
movie.
award show
This is
for
the
that,
Pop Tart
Marvin.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Seinfeld.
I thought we
movie.
had covered
never
this,
watched
but
it.
yeah, I
we
watched this
talked
one by
about it. I
myself.
don't think we ever watched it. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
You liked it?
I can't remember.
I wonder if people are like review bombing it because like people hate Jerry Seinfeld now for like good reason. He's a Zionist.
Could be. I can't remember. It was a fun watch. I think it was fine.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
learned
we are
something
on-
about the battle between, who was it?
Kellogg's or some shit.
Kellogg's and Post. I want to say,
Yeah. Post and
which is
Kellogg's,
cool.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
What were you gonna say?
We're on
Dusty?
like the
We are what?
45th annual. We're on the 45th annual Razzies, the Raspberry Awards. They give them. Worst pictures this year were Borderlands, Joker Folie à Deux, Madam Web,
shit.
Megalopolis, and Reagan.
There was one movie.
Madam Web won. Jerry Seinfeld actually got the award for Best Actor in Unfrosted for a Razzie. So
There was one that-
movie is in there for that.
There was one that got taken down from consideration because somebody died. I don't know which celebrity it was that died.
wait. So what's Razzies? What is this? I
like
don't know.
shitty movie awards, like for the worst
Your
movie.
movie is fucking trash. Yeah, just
So he got Best
Razzie.
Actor in a terrible movie.
He's
Basically.
the best worst. Like the most
he's-
worst.
Yeah,
Oh, he's the
Yeah.
worst of the worst.
yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, supporting actor was John Voight in Megalopolis. Supporting actress was Amy Schumer in Unfrosted. Director was Francis Ford Coppola in Megalopolis. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, Screen Combo and Joker. Joker prequel remakes, and then best screenplay was worst screenplay was Madam Web, which is pretty bad, guys.
I didn't see that one
I
yet
saw
either.
it. It's pretty bad.
There was a movie that got rescinded this year because one of the actors died. Do we know what that was? I don't remember.
I don't know. There was a lot of headlines I saw about movies that didn't get Oscar exceptions or nominations because of lots of different things. Some of it was DEI, some of it was AI,
Yeah.
some of it was lots of other things. So I don't know.
But yeah, so that's my pick. Gladiator, dog shit, awful movie. Marvin, do you see the original
bad.
one?
Oh, see.
Wow, you
oh,
haven't seen the original. That's fucking
God.
crazy.
Gladiator 1.
It's Gladiator.
Shit. And I think we know the make Marvin Wash.
Just we got too much. This
I've
too much
seen-
work. It's too
Listen,
much.
I've seen
Listen.
what's the Stars show with the fucking gladiators?
This is nothing like that.
I've seen
that
Spartacus.
is-
That's my shit.
That is
Spartacus.
very good show, Marvin.
I
That's a
fucking
very
love
good show.
Spartacus.
All right.
Spartacus.
So, well, folks,
Gladiator though, I probably haven't seen it in full.
God damn.
there's our best and worst for 2024. Let us know what your favorite movie was of the year and what your least favorite was, your most hated. Marvin hasn't seen shit, so get ready for him to watch Gladiator for the first time soon. That's going to be coming up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Let us know if our picks are terrible.
Nah,
That's what I wanna
Our
hear.
picks are good.
Yeah, some people might be like, "No, Heretic was amazing," though. So
Yeah,
I don't trust shit.
that's true.
All right, so let's move on to the news. Dusty used to be a newsman. He worked in video game journalism, and now he does stuff for us here on the podcast. So what you got for us this week, Dusty? Newsman?
Well, we had the Oscars this weekend.
We sure
obviously.
did.
Conan O'Brien hosted. Did you guys watch any of it?
No, but I heard he was pretty good. I heard there was a pretty funny joke about Kendrick that he did. Those people
it
were
was hilarious.
going
I
crazy.
didn't watch
over
the
it.
whole thing. I watched the opening monologue. Did not have the Kendrick joke, so it must have been somewhere else in the show. But it was pretty good. Pretty good. Demi and Timmy and Gladdy too all got snubbed.
I saw a fucking funny tweet that was like, Demi Moore watching what's her name from Anora win is literally the
Oh,
plot
yeah.
of the
Yes.
Substance.
Straight up.
It was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, shout out to them. Timmy didn't win.
Speaking of
Either movie,
snubs,
he was
I
in.
don't know if you got it in your news, but just to say briefly, there were some egregious omissions from this year's In Memoriam. Like, I can't even believe it. Tony Todd was the one that I was upset about. But fucking Shannon
Yeah, what the
Doherty
fuck?
not being included, and Michelle Trachtenberg, who just died like recently, like how are you not going to include these people?
I don't know.
Like,
Crazy, bro.
yo, put some respect on my boy Candyman's fucking name. He's an icon.
Yeah.
And Michelle
Yeah.
Doherty too. I mean, Shannon Doherty, she's a fucking icon, a legend. Like, what are you guys doing over there at this fucking bullshit ass fucking award? This is why I say the Oscars is fucking ridiculous. It's stupid. It's so stupid and performative. It's dumb. Like, I understand that it probably as an actor or a a director or writer or anybody in film, like, it's probably nice to be recognized by your peers, but that's not what it is really at the end of the day. It's just bullshit. Anyway, sorry, Dusty. What else? What did you what was your news piece about?
Yeah, no, just the Oscars. Nora obviously won. I think they got 5 awards. Brutalist did pretty well. Adrian Brody got Best Actor, so he stole that from Timmy. They had like 3 or 4 awards, and then Dune 2 took a couple away. Some consolation prize awards for like Best Sound and Best Stage Art or some shit like that. But yeah.
I just want to say, Jeremy Strong should have won Best Supporting Actor for his role in Apprentice.
Was that
the Trump movie?
Yeah, no, I know. The character. He was
Played the lawyer guy,
the monotone guy.
No, the one who died of AIDS.
Yeah, he's very monotone. Yeah, that's the guy.
Roy Cohn. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought, like, I mean, listen, I thought what's his name was great. Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain. And
he won?
He won, fucking,
I mean, he was good. He was good, but he wasn't as good as the Roy Cohn guy.
No, and I didn't expect...
No fucking way.
I didn't expect The Apprentice to win much because of the fact that it's a movie about Trump. Like, I just didn't think it was going to win anything.
Yep.
But
this is probably my second favorite.
This is a great movie. Yeah, this movie was great.
It was
great movie.
Yeah,
so good.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. All right. Well, so yeah, and sad news is, speaking of in memoriam, we got a weird one here.
Oh God, yeah, what is going on? The vax. He was vaxxed.
Gene Hackman and wife Betsy Arakawa
and their dog.
One of their dogs. one of 3.
Yeah.
2 dogs survived.
All found dead.
This is a weird one. Santa Fe County Sheriff Adam Mendoza says they don't have much to go on. They're waiting on the autopsy report and working backwards from there. There were no major gas leaks found, any evidence of carbon dioxide or anything like that. So no major foul play, but it's suspicious to them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Pretty suspicious when fucking like,
fuck?
I mean, he was like 97
believed to have been
or something.
dead a week. Yeah, and he was going downhill. They say it could have been, I don't know. But
well, I
how
wonder,
old was she? And then how old was the dog? Like,
well, the dog. Okay, so important to note: the dog was in a cage.
Yes, in a crate.
He was in a separate room than her, I think. So
yes,
what probably happened was she found him dead. He probably just died of natural causes because he's fucking 100, and then she killed herself. And then the dog died of starvation from being in the crate.
Yes, because nobody found them for a week.
What I would imagine happened.
Oh, fuck. That's so fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. But you know how the internet is in 2025. This happened the day before the Epstein files are coming out. Something's up here. It's like, dude, people are so fucking stupid. I'm so sick of it. Send the asteroid lord.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's terrible.
Okay. Pretty sad. The Michelle Trachtenberg thing was sad too. I don't know if they've released a cause of death of that, but I know she suffered from addiction. And she had like a liver transplant recently. So some people were saying that maybe it didn't take.
Maybe her body rejected it, is what I was reading. Yeah. Because they says she died of natural causes, which usually they wouldn't say that if it was drug related.
All right, on to the next thing. Musical series Tiana.
Yeah.
Who?
What did you just say?
Shelved by Disney.
Tiana? I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah.
Who?
She's the Princess and the Frog character played by I didn't put her name down in here. It's in the article. The Princess and the Frog, first the Black Disney princess, Tiana. They were going to do a musical series for her on Disney Plus, but it was shelved along with an unnamed feature-length project because Walt Disney Animation Studios is abandoning its long-form episodic content for streaming. Because theatrical releases are where it's at for the animation studio. And animation has actually been doing pretty good. There's some tweets going out about like movies.
Yeah, Inside Out
animation
2
movies
went
that are making-
crazy.
Yeah.
It didn't win the Oscar or whatever, but the first Inside Out was good. I need to watch the second one.
I heard Moana 2 is pretty good. I still haven't seen the first
and
one.
that's
I haven't seen
one
the
that
first
was
one either.
actually scheduled to be a series on Disney Plus that they turned into a theatrical movie, and they're better off for it. Like that was one of the reasons why Walt Disney Animation Studios is abandoning this whole Tiana series and everything else. It seems like they're just cutting back because they can't afford it. Because
No, woke is dead now because Trump's back in office, so they don't have to have a black princess now. It's over.
they
Woke's
just don't
done.
have the money to print to make endless content for people. But
I don't want woke and gay Disney princesses, DEI princesses. What are you kidding me?
Well, we talked about this a little bit. Our show's running the cinematic universe. Hideo Kojima tweeted out, I watched this. I don't know what's going on. This is not fun, basically. But yeah.
Quote.
And in that sense, I mean, Marvel Studios has canceled some of their shows. Nova is no longer coming out. Terror Inc. and Strange Academy have all been canceled. So do not expect to watch any of that.
This is a really glaring sign of the issue, as you've pointed out. He says, I watched Captain America Brave New World in IMAX. I vaguely remember Sam receiving the shield in Endgame. But when did he officially become Cap? Is it because I haven't seen The Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Sure is, Mr. Kojima. And what's this about the Avengers being reorganized? I'm also getting it mixed up with the Thunderbolts trailer. And so here is some posters of Mr. Kojima. I love him so much. Great comment here. Jaden has to say, bruh, I watched that 11 years ago when it came out. I didn't even remember he was in that. So this is the problem, right? Like, you know, in the first couple of phases, you would just get like, hey, this is a Thor movie. This is a Captain America movie. Oh, that's Thor's hammer. And after the credits, guess Thor's coming soon. Oh,
right.
And that's all it was.
Yeah, but those end credit scenes actually paid off. They started making them so much that now they have so many that haven't paid off that they can't even make them all pay off.
I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. And again, it all goes back to Bob Paycheck because he forced them to just pump out content on Disney Plus. They shouldn't if honestly, obviously they want to make every red cent possible. But if I was in charge, Disney Plus would house Disney shit, maybe some original content if you want to do Star Wars stuff. But even that, I think, is too much. I would just make it so that, like, hey, when a Marvel movie goes out into theaters, release it on Disney Plus a month later for subscribers. Like, that should be the point of Disney Plus. You want to watch it at home quicker than everybody else? Subscribe to Disney Plus. Like,
right.
Outside of a handful of people who watch all the things, and even those people like me and Dusty are starting to like get tired of it. Dusty hasn't even watched fucking What If yet. I haven't watched the second season of it. I still haven't watched fucking the Spider-Man show that's out. I know that's not part of the MCU, but it's like, it's just there was another show that I haven't. It's just like, it's just too much. And you can't keep track of it all, and then it doesn't connect anymore. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Miss Marvel show either.
And it doesn't all have to connect because, as comic book readers know, like, most comic book readers don't read everything. You may be a fan of like, oh, I'm a fan of Spider-Man, so I specifically read Spider-Man books, and then sometimes I'll read the crossovers when they happen. But I mostly live over here in Spider-Man land. Every now and then, maybe I'll pick up a Captain America book or two. But like, they could do that. Like, they could make content for specific characters that's just like their own little.
Well, that's why the Avengers books were so good back in the day when you were having to buy stuff, because you were getting a book with all the characters in one. It was like, hey, I don't need to read the Iron Man book and the fucking
it was
Spider-Man
like a Costco
book,
deal,
and it's all of them in one, like the Justice League. Yeah, it's like you're getting all these characters, and the stories are pretty cool. So
yeah, for the price of one. Yeah, but whatever.
Now it's kind of diluted with a little bit of that, but yeah.
I get Kojima's pain. I get it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, speaking of, not knowing what's going on and direct rumors or, sequels that aren't actual sequels to things like the Hulk and Captain America.
Yeah.
According to Daniel Rickman, Spider-Man 4 is basically being developed as a direct sequel to Avengers Doomsday, and that will bridge the gap between the 2026 film and Avengers Secret Wars in 2027. So,
Okay.
I don't know how much of this I believe, but it's certainly plausible.
I don't think anybody knows what this fucking movie's going to be at this point. I'm sick of hearing about it. That's not a shot at you. I just
no, it's fair.
Fucking,
I agree.
Feige wanted a street level, like friendly neighborhood Spider-Man movie. Sony's pushing for another multiverse movie so they could bring back Toby and all these fucking things.
God.
Like,
but now they might be considering rebooting the whole thing after Craven kind of crashed. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's all on the cinematic side of things, and it's not in a good place right now. We can just say that. And maybe it'll get better because DC and Marvel are doing a crossover
Saw
event.
this, yeah.
Man. Did you see this?
I sure did, yeah.
Both editor-in-chiefs, Mary Javins for DC and CB Cebulski for Marvel, announced the event at Comics Pro Summit in Glendale, California.
Oh my God.
And sometime in 2025, we're going to get 2 one-shots, aptly named Marvel DC and DC Marvel. We haven't had DC Marvel crossover, Marvin, since 2003. It was JLA Avengers. And then we had another one, I think, in the 90s, 96, Amalgam Universe is when it came out. So this is big. Some people are even saying because of this news that we might actually be getting a Marvel DC movie. And
shit.
There's already reports that Tay-Tay is going to be a big superhero in the movie. She might be playing a role. So that's some of the rumors, but this is actually officially happening. This is going to be a comic book collector's dream.
Yeah.
So you can buy these comic books. It'll be fun. See what happens.
Damn.
I don't really remember the 2003 one. I kind of remember the 96 one, but I haven't read it in so long that it's been a while. But it's always interesting to see these crossovers. And I don't know if it's going to do anything for film for us, but definitely for book collectors and readers. It'll be fun.
A DC Marvel crossover movie would make like $1 trillion. Also, side note, I wasn't picking my nose. I just had a very deep itch in my nostril. Like, fair. I still can't get it. It's bothering me. Oh, fuck. All right, what else we got?
But well, the last piece of movie news I have, Variety.
Is this your crossover piece?
Yeah.
Oh,
so do you have anything else?
They're not news stuff. I just wanted to point out a couple of things. So we got, we talked about the Oscars, and Nora was my favorite movie. 5 wins: Best Picture, Best Editing, Best Actress, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay. I should have brought it up when we were talking about it, the Oscars, but I had it here. Yeah. Nice little bundle here. And then I pulled this up. I thought this was cool because I forgot about a lot of these movies. This is the Best Picture winners for the last 20 years. Crash, The Departed, No Country for Old Men, Slumdog Millionaire, The Hurt Locker, The King's Speech, The Artist, Argo, 12 Years a Slave, Birdman, Spotlight, Moonlight, Shape of Water, Green Book, Parasite, Nomadland, Coda, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Goat, Oppenheimer, and Anora.
Wow. Hey, let's play a game here. I got a game for you guys.
How many movies has Marvin seen?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to guess.
I'd say 3 of them.
You guys are guessing, yes.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go through one by one. I know you have. I know you haven't seen Anora. I know you've seen Oppenheimer. I know you've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm going to say you've seen 2 movies on this list. 3.
Right,
I'm going to say 3. I think you've no, 4. I'm going 4. I think I know you've seen Oppenheimer. I know you've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. So that's kind of cheating. Yeah.
I'm saying you've seen one more.
I don't think you've seen Coda. I don't think you've seen Nomadland. I'm not sure if you've seen.
You guys lost. You both lost. You get nothing.
Uh-oh. How many have you seen?
Wait. So give me the guesses again.
I'm guessing you've seen 3.
3.
No, 4. I'm going
4.
4. Okay, I did win. Good.
Yeah, no, yeah. Dan
No,
said
you can't.
4. I
I
said
did
He's
say
3.
changing
No,
it.
no, I did say 4 initially because I think you probably saw Parasite.
Oh wait, no. Sorry, it's 5. It's 5.
Oh,
It's 5.
5.
It's 5.
Okay.
I
So
think
you both lose, and I'll tell you what I've seen now.
Well, hang on. I think you've probably seen Parasite. Could I guess?
The 5?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could try. Yeah, go ahead.
So I know you've seen Oppenheimer and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think you probably have seen Parasite. Maybe. Not to be racist, but I'm pretty sure you've probably seen 12 Years a Slave because it was a big movie at the time. He goes, I think you've probably seen Spotlight. I don't know why, but I feel like that's a movie you might have watched. And maybe Shape of Water? All right, hit me, Marvin.
So I've seen Oppenheimer, Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Yeah.
Parasite,
Uh-huh.
Moonlight,
Oh, okay,
and 12
Moonlight.
Years a Slave.
Okay, so I was right. Damn it, I was going to say Moonlight, but that would have made me extra racist. You've seen only the black movies on here.
That's true.
Fuck. All right.
All right.
I actually haven't seen Moonlight.
That was good.
That was
Really
the
good.
year that like it won and they called up the wrong movie.
I haven't seen The King's Speech
Really?
yet. I'm surprised. It's been on my list for a while, but I never got around
King's
to
Speech.
Yeah,
I
the
haven't
year
seen that.
Moonlight won, they called a different movie, and they like the whole cast and crew went up and like they were about to give their speech, and they were like, "Oh, wait a second, we have an error," and everybody thought it was a joke.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
That's crazy.
It was weird as fuck. All right, Dusty, what's your last piece of news for us?
All right, well, it's from Variety. They talk to anonymous Oscars every year. Apparently, voters have admitted that they didn't vote for Ralph Fiennes in Conclave
Interesting.
under the false assumption that they thought he had won before. So,
What? Well, that
Some
shouldn't
of
even be a
them-
factor.
Yeah, why would that be a factor?
That's so stupid.
well, the way they vote, it's funny because some people admit to not have even seen the film, like Dune 2. There were a lot of people that are upset about Dune 2 not getting enough votes or anything. But some of the voters saying they never even watched the film.
And Denis
so,
Villeneuve didn't even get fucking nominated.
yeah. So yeah, it's a fan club, Marvin, and that's kind of why we make fun of it.
That shit's whack.
but,
Fuck the Oscars.
Hashtag fuck the Oscars.
So yeah,
I can't believe
Ralph
you would
Fiennes-
not vote for someone just because they fucking won.
Yeah.
Well,
or hadn't
because
won.
it's such a hard. I mean, like Demi Moore was up this year. She's been in the industry for 40 years and she's never won it.
But that
and
shouldn't
she
be a
didn't
factor.
win it.
It should just
She
be.
Yeah.
didn't win it. But people will not vote for somebody. They'll vote for somebody else if they think somebody else has already won it. Like, oh man, he did really good, but he's already won it. It should go to somebody else this year.
Yeah.
Like that's a mindset that some people
Silly.
have, and I kind of get it, but it is kind of stupid too. So
Instead of having an academy, what they should do is the academy should just be everyone who fucking acts.
Right.
And they should
Yeah.
fucking pass around ballots at the award show in real time, or maybe before the event, and let the actors and actresses vote. That's how it should be. Instead of a group of fucking old, crusty white guys, or whoever it is. Maybe there's probably like one chick in it now. Who is the academy?
Mhm.
That's a good question. I
Kathleen
want to
Kennedy,
see.
they let Kathleen Kennedy in.
Hey, I'm surprised that's not on your news this week. She announced that she's stepping down.
Big news.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Doesn't care.
Hey, no, I mean, it was long been rumored that they wouldn't renew her contract. Her contract's coming up. Whether or not she's going to renew her or not, we'll see.
Is there not an actual list?
Let's see. The Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences members. I want to see current members. They're like the fucking Illuminati.
Yeah,
oh, it
this
has
is
over.
crazy.
Oh, it's over 10,000 members. Never mind.
Oh, well,
Yeah, it's a union.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the news, Dusty. Appreciate it. Of course, you were talking about Ralph Fiennes for his role in Conclave, the movie that we're here to talk about today. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I love a good mystery. That's what we have here in Conclave, except it's a mystery within the Catholic Church, but not just any church, the highest church of the Catholic churches, the Vatican.
Hmm.
I bet this movie fucking slaps if you're Catholic. But
Yeah, for real. This
Yeah.
shit gotta be crazy.
let's see how it fared with us three heathens who don't quite subscribe to the propaganda of the Catholic Church. So, this is about Cardinal Lawrence, who's played by Ralph Fiennes. He is tasked with leading one of the world's most secretive and ancient events, selecting a new pope. He finds himself at the center of a web of conspiracies and intrigue that could shake the very foundation of the Catholic Church. So basically, when the movie opens, the pope is dead, and he's what's called the dean, and he runs the conclave. Like, he's the one that organizes and runs the whole week of sequestering and voting for who is to be the new pope. This was directed by Edward Berger, who also did All Quiet on the Western Front, which was his last movie that was like really, really popular and well received. And it stars, as we said, Ralph Fiennes. It's got Stanley Tucci in it, John Lithgow. So pretty good cast. Yeah, it did have a really good cast. And
so go ahead.
I was gonna say there's just some mysteries afoot that we, the audience, along with Cardinal Lawrence, have to try to figure out as we select a new pope. What were you gonna say, Marvin?
So I didn't see the trailer or read anything about this. I was going to ask who else thought this was going to be another typical horror from just seeing the poster.
Oh no, not me. I thought so. I didn't watch a trailer, but I did read about it a while back.
Oh, okay. So you had some notion of what it.
I thought it was going to be more in line with like Da Vinci Code, like that type of mystery type of movie, and I was kind of excited to watch it because, like I said, I love mysteries. But unfortunately, the mystery of this movie wasn't really that mysterious at all. I mean, there's a couple of them, and none of them really landed that well, I thought. So basically, along the course of the movie, you learn that it's essentially exposing three of the front runners for the new pope. There's one guy, Cardinal Adeyemi, who I think is like Nigerian or something. And he's the front runner, and you find out that he impregnated a 19-year-old when he was 30. So he gets disqualified. You got John Lithgow playing Cardinal Tremblay, who you find out was like paying people off for support to be the new pope.
Semini,
yeah. So he gets disqualified. One of the other front runners, I think, is Tedesco, who's like a fucking Italian nationalist racist guy, and he's calling for like holy wars against Islam and like all this crazy shit.
Shit was wild.
And that's really
it's crazy that something like the Catholic Church also deals with conservative dumbasses trying to push back progress.
Yeah, so that's like the background. Well, there's more to that than what seems the movie than the movie laid out. That's like the story going on throughout the movie is that this guy, he's like a conservative, and the Pope that died in the beginning has been taking the church in a progressive direction for the last however many years he was Pope. So basically, there's a group of liberal cardinals who are all trying to like make it so that the conservative guy doesn't step up into the position of the Pope and take the church back like however many years. Like they don't want a regressive racist Pope. Totally fair.
Sound familiar?
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. I got a little inside baseball into this because my cousin is a pastor. He's not Catholic. He's a Baptist pastor. And he's politically, he's a Democrat. So he's a shit lib. And
what the fuck?
By all accounts, he is like fairly liberal. He has told stories about in his church, one of his colleagues refused to marry a gay couple. My cousin offered. He's like, no, I'll do it. Like, that's ridiculous. Excuse me. So in those senses, to meets the eye, you're like, oh, wow, he's a progressive guy. That's pretty cool. But when you talk to him a little bit deeper, which I have many times because he's my cousin, he'll say stuff. And he's an older guy. He'll say stuff like, yeah, no, I don't have any problem with gay marriage. I just don't think we should call it marriage.
That's wild.
Because marriage is specifically between a man and a woman, as dictated by God.
Church indoctrination. Yeah, church indoctrination.
Insane.
So that's just to push back on what you said a little bit, that the church is conservative by nature. Like there is no progressive church. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. No, that's true.
So, but yes, that's really the story
Jesus
here.
was progressive.
Yeah. So that's really the story here, is that it's just these liberal popes trying to not get the conservative guy to become these liberal cardinals trying to not get the super conservative racist cardinal to become pope. And along the way, we get a mysterious cardinal that nobody knew about. Cardinal Benitez, who is Mexican,
Kabul.
but his church is in Kabul. And so apparently the Pope...
In the trenches. That's wild.
Apparently the Pope who has died kind of hid his existence because he's, cardinaling in like a very religiously aggressive part of the world. And so it would be dangerous to expose the Catholic Church in Kabul. Okay. Well, that's like pretty much the plot and story here. There is a twist in the movie, which we'll get to a little bit later. But first, what did you guys think about it? Marvin, what did you think?
I thought it was great. I really enjoyed the plot. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. I said initially it felt slow, which it did. But thinking back on it, it wasn't really that slow. It was just different. I think this may be the first political thriller or whatever that I've ever seen. So,
it is a political thriller, just political in Catholic Church, not like in the government.
Yeah. So I think that's why it felt just different to me, because I haven't seen movies like a political thriller like this before. So I thought it was great, though. It was good.
Yeah.
Cinematography was good. Cast was great. And big fan.
How about you, Dusty?
It was a good film. Yeah, I agree with Marvin. Cast was great. Filming was great. It was good story. Question that gets debated quite a bit on various levels, and it went down to the question with what we're going to talk about, I guess.
The ending.
What the old documentary from what's his name, Matt Walsh.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
So you liked it overall?
Yeah, no, it was a great film. I watched it actually 1.5 times. Because I watched it when it came out and I really enjoyed it. And I had not seen it in a little while, so I wanted to watch it. And I watched it, put it on the other night to watch with Christina, and I actually fell asleep because we were watching it late. She watched it the whole way through because she hadn't seen it yet, and she loved it too. So yeah,
nice.
Good movie.
I understand why you think it's a little bit slow, and it's not really necessarily slow. It's just a procedural. And that's like what's going on. It's like a court procedural almost. It's
exactly.
You're dealing with a lot of dialogue and
Yeah.
I had to really put my atheistic biases aside for this though, because I thought the plot and story were like genuinely interesting. The mysteries that were going on, I was like, oh, this is like. I thought it was going to be more of like a mystery, like Da Vinci Code, like more fantasy type of thing, but it was like
not just secrets. It was more secrets than mystery.
Yeah, it was just kind of like little politics things that go on, and it was probably more realistic, And what were you gonna say, Dustin?
I mean, the only thing that I was curious about the movie is a 3D chess from the dead Pope, like, because you hear some accusations of the Pope told me to do it. Well, that's between you and him. Did he tell some people to do some things so that he could set it up such that at the end he knew who would probably get the nomination over all the people that were bickering and clamoring for it? Maybe. How to get them out of the way to get the right person in? Like, was there some 3D chess going on from the Pope?
Maybe.
Because accusations were made, like the Pope told me to do it with some of these stories. So,
Holy
one
Father.
could say it was divine intervention that led us to our
maybe.
Well, I was going to say, I actually. So for a little bit, I had a hard time thinking how incredibly stupid it is that these archaic rituals still exist. And I thought the movie did a really good job of not being like, it didn't have like an opinion on religion, whether it's bullshit or not. It wasn't about that. It was just about, this is a group of people in this organization doing a thing. It just so happened to be the Catholic Church. So you say divine intervention. There was only one moment in the movie where I thought that, like, there were like very small moments and times where they hint at divine intervention, but the movie's not hinting at that's what's happening. It's showing that they think sometimes it's happening because of their devout beliefs, and it's like the wind blows through a little bit, or the bomb going off, and like it's just coincidences that they probably are like, oh, it's God speaking to us.
Exactly.
But even still, the movie doesn't really do that at all. It's just these little small moments of that. But yeah, overall, I thought it was interesting. I like outside of like, because to me, you know, the whole movie's about like a specific thing, which is taking the church in a progressive direction, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, yeah, all right, like makes sense to me. So I'm done. I'm out. Like, you're good. You won me over. So I don't really. I had trouble like that's why I said if you're Catholic, this probably slaps because you're probably like, you know, in the tank for this shit, like one direction or the other. You're probably taking sides and like picking who's right and wrong and like
instantly
rooting for something over the other. I didn't really care about any of that shit because I don't care, and I think this is all stupid. Of like guys walking around in robes and shit. It's fucking ridiculous.
No, those robes was fire though, especially the ones right here in this trailer.
Yeah, you rock that
color
shit?
is sick. I just like the color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so overall I liked it. The acting was great. Thought the sound design was excellent. The music specifically, it was all those like the horror movie kind of like cello sounds. I thought that was really great. Also, I don't know if it was just the audio version that I was listening to on my surround sound or how they edited it, but their voices were like very almost like Bane sounding to me, like very boomy. It might have just been the fact that I was watching it on my surround sound, but like their voices had like a lot of fucking like bass to them. And but I think it was because they were like in this like, you know, the Sistine Chapel, all this bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, I all the stuff that makes a movie good, like it did well. It was all good. Music, dialogue, all that good stuff.
Agreed. Do you think they how realistic is their portrayal of this event?
Probably pretty realistic. Like I think in my lifetime, like our lifetime, I think we've only seen one new pope, right, get elected.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and it's a secretive event, so we can only imagine through like rumors and testimony what actually goes on behind the closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they interviewed someone or how did they...
But on the outside, this is what happens. You have gatherings of like millions of people who flock to Vatican to like be there for the thing, and the smoke is like the signal to let you know that they made a decision and all that good stuff.
Oh, it's an event.
Yeah. So I'd imagine it's like pretty realistic. Like what could be going on in there? Like what are they going to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was just curious because I didn't really know anything about this.
They probably did research. I mean,
yeah, probably.
I would guess. But yeah, so so yeah, throughout the whole movie, they're like a couple of these guys. They're like, oh, telling Ralph Fiennes like, you got to do it. You got to step up. Like you're the obvious choice. Like we're running out of options here. And he's like, no, Stanley Tucci, you got to do it. Stanley Tucci like doesn't want it for some reason. But Ralph Fiennes, he specifically doesn't want to do it because he's having like a crisis of faith. In fact, he had a little bit of a beef with the Pope because he was like, hey, I want to step down from this position as dean and I want to go do my own shit and figure out like what's going on with me and my faith. And the Pope was like, nah, man, you got to stay. And you kind of figure out later on that like, oh, well, the Pope wanted him to stay because he knew he was dying. And like, he knew that he was the guy who had to like sift through all this drama and bullshit. You had something to say, Dusty? You look like you were loading something up.
No, no.
But Ralph Fiennes doesn't want it either. And there's one point in the movie where the racist cardinal steps up and gives this big speech. It's after a car bombing by what they claim is Islamic terrorizers. And he's like, this is his big holy war speech. He's like, we fucking, let them come into our land. And it's like all this crazy racist bullshit that sounds very familiar if you're an American or just a citizen of the world. And our Mexican mystery cardinal steps up and he says some stuff about like, you don't know what fucking war is. You haven't experienced it like I have in Kabul, blah, blah, blah. and gets a standing ovation, and he becomes like the automatic winner. Like they're all like, nah, this is the guy who needs to lead our church, or needs to lead the Catholic Church. He's going to be the new pope. And they all vote for this guy. And he becomes the new pope. And we got like 5 minutes left in the movie. And you're like, great, they picked a pope. He's cool. He chooses his pope name, and I think it's like
Innocence.
Innocence. It's like, oh, wow. And dun, dun, dun. There was one final twist in the movie. And now, you know me, I'm a fucking militant progressive leftist. And this is the
What is a woman, Dan?
This is literally probably the only time I think wokeness has ruined a movie for me.
Wow. That's crazy. I was thinking about the ending because we kind of talked about it, like I said, but I think it actually is a good ending.
Okay.
Like the whole male only priest thing in the Catholic Church never sat right with me anyway. Like this whole patriarchy thing.
Yeah.
And they voted for this person because of their beliefs, right? Like his organs shouldn't matter. So his morals are what matters. And I think they're trying to drill that with the ending. Like
yeah,
that's what I got out of it.
I could totally see that interpretation of it. So to be specific, it's revealed that this Mexican cardinal was born with ovaries and what was it?
Uterus.
A uterus, yeah. And
It's got both.
Yeah, and they discovered it. He's intersex, is what the new term is now. And he discovered it by accident, like having like a fucking his appendix removed or something like that. And he chose to not have those organs removed because in his mind, that's how God made him. Fair enough. And then the movie just fucking ends though. And it's like, oh. So now the church is going to be led by an intersex person. And I totally am down with what you just said about it. And I don't care that he's intersex. Like, I want to make that clear. Like, I don't give a fuck.
You don't. But
no, people do for sure.
Oh, every one of those other cardinals would.
Oh yeah, he could be trans, gay, black, white, yellow, Mexican. I don't give a fuck what he is. Fine. I have no hate for anybody except for fascists. But the reason I thought it ruined the movie is not because it was like woke or anything. It just seemed unnecessary. The whole point of the movie was to elect a new pope who would continue to take the church in a progressive direction instead of electing some regressive, conservative, racist scumfuck. But the movie already executed the point, I thought. So this just like elevated it to like the next level of that, which is like, but what if? Like, it kind of, I get it that it like raised the question of like, yeah, there's a bunch of liberal cardinals, but how liberal are they? They may not be racist against Muslims like this other dude, but let's toss this in the mix and see what they do. But we don't even see it, so it was pointless. Is my point. Like, we don't see the fallout of it. We don't see the reactions of it. It's just like he just like saves a turtle, and then like the movie's over.
But it raises a question.
It raises a question that I don't actually think needed to be raised. Is my point, because the movie already raised the question. I thought. Maybe. I get it.
What question?
Yeah, I think it just pushes it to the extent of like because there's obviously people who are intersex.
Yes.
But we're talking, we're talking like 0.00002% of the population.
Jamie Lee Curtis is intersex, I think. Or unless that's a rumor, but I'm pretty sure she is.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Pretty sure that is a rumor, I know for sure, but whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Oh no, she's not. That was just a rumor. Never mind.
Yeah,
that's been pervasive for a very long time. Like I remember hearing that shit like
very long.
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
Yes. But yeah, I don't know.
So I want to go back to what Dan said. Like, without this coming up, what question or what big reveal is there? Just that a Mexican guy is the Pope? Like, that's not that big of a revelation.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know that there needed to be a revelation. Like, I think the drama of the movie was that, like, we as a collective want to, like, the Catholic Church has like a fuck ton of power on the planet. It's like in terms of like the power dynamic on the planet, it's like Israel, and then the fucking Catholic Church, and then the United States, and then so on and so forth.
Right.
Well, no, then it's like it's like Israel, the Catholic Church, the CIA, the United States, and yeah. So, but they hold a tremendous amount of sway. The Vatican is like its own fucking thing. It's not even part. It's like not even
country.
It's like its own country. They don't pay taxes. Like they're very powerful. And so the drama of the movie is like, hey, we represent this like massive, massive force in the world. We have to like represent God's will and word, but also be respectful to other people on the planet who might not believe what we believe, and try to like softly spread the word to them instead of like the Crusades where they were like burning motherfuckers on the stake and shit.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like the overall message of like, let's spread the word of God in a progressive manner. And so with this reveal,
I think that's still the main message.
No, it is, but I just think that with this reveal, it like elevated it to the next level. Like I said, it's like, so we know that everybody's okay with a black pope because he
was about to win. Basically.
Adeyemi was about to win. We know that some people would be okay with like a racist guy. We know that some people would be okay with the Mexican guy because he got nominated, right? But we don't know what would happen if they were like if they found out about this, because the Pope clearly hid him for this reason, not because he was preaching in Kabul. It was because of this.
Exactly.
So even the Pope did like that, and that's like the final reveal is like, oh, the church is kind of progressive now, but how progressive are they? Could this fucking destroy the Catholic Church?
Yeah.
Or will everybody be okay with it? And then the movie just ends is really where my problem is because it raises this question that I don't even care about and didn't show me any of the fallout or anything. If they opened with this, like, hey, here's this intersex guy, and then that was the drama of the movie, I'd have been like, oh, fucking cool. Like, but we didn't see it play out. We don't see the results of it is really kind of like my main issue, I think. And to say it ruined the movie, that's a little strong. It didn't ruin the movie. I still overall enjoyed the movie. I just thought that little last bit was kind of unnecessary because, like, I think the point the movie wanted to make was made already to me.
I can see that.
Successfully.
Yeah, I can see that. I just think it's the question of, like, does this invalidate your choice? Because, like I said, like,
100%.
It's his morals that matters and what
Absolutely.
he stands for, not his fucking organs.
That's what should matter, right?
That's what should matter, right?
Yeah, I think the movie is trying to also, it's portraying, because you have clear lines of what's going on. Like you have the nuns and you have the priest throughout the whole ordeal, and you have him actually recognizing them in a prayer, the nuns, you know, like, so you have this whole man or woman thing. And then you get him in there and it's, well, he's a man, he's going to do it. Well, actually, he's a woman, man or woman.
Right.
Like that.
Well, he identifies as a man.
Sure.
So.
But arguably, he is either.
Yeah. So totally correct, Marvin. It's about, it should be about what he stands for and what his morals are. And that is the question of like, will that be enough for these group of people who now voted him in? But again, it doesn't answer it. So why raise the question if you're not going to answer it? Are you asking the audience? Well,
I think it's asking the audience in the
atheist.
world.
I don't give
like,
a fuck who the Pope is. You know what I mean? So,
well, yeah, you specifically.
Well,
but
that's why it was weird. I just, you know, I don't know. It just felt a little bit weird. Like, so was the movie made for like Catholics specifically? I don't know.
It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to apply to someone becoming the Pope specifically. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's fair. I mean, and I also agree with you what you said about like, you know, the movie does do a lot of power dynamic stuff with men and women and the priest. I mean, the cardinals versus the nuns. The nuns are the cleaning ladies. They're the cooks. They clean up after everybody. They serve everybody. They're not supposed to speak. In fact, there's a scene with the head nun who steps up and she says, hey, I know I'm supposed to keep my fucking mouth shut, but like, I'm
Right.
gonna say some shit here. To me, if you want to do that at the end of the movie, maybe just introduce a female, which I guess they did. It's the whole intersex part of it that I just don't know what was the point, really. That's why I said I had to put my biases aside, because like I don't give a fuck who you are as a person. For me, everything is about who you are as a human being. Are you morally good? Are you this? Are you that? Do you hold my values?
Yeah, but you're not the norm. Like,
No, I know, but
even when it comes to something like
yeah,
the president of the United States, it's like,
I guess
if that were to be discovered about the president of the United States, that would be like it would be an outrage. It's
Yeah.
the same shit.
No, for sure.
Like, it doesn't have to be the Pope or anything religious even. Like,
Yeah. I guess I just feel like at this particular time in society with the culture war bullshit and the politics and all this stuff, I feel like the fact that they made the character intersex was like a very specific strategy, rather than just making it like a straight up, like why could have just elected the nun. It would have had the same effect, you know? If that was the
well,
case.
it's different because, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but if someone identifies as a man,
Yeah.
like, it's different than if it's a nun. It's
Yeah.
completely different.
No, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I guess to say it ruined the movie was a little bit a little bit.
I mean, that's your opinion.
I don't think it ruined the movie. I still enjoyed the movie. I just thought that last 10 minutes, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why was this here? Kind of thing.
That's what I thought too. I was just thinking about it.
No, you make very valid points. But yeah, overall, I thought the movie was great. I love the music. I love the use of the music and the sound design. The acting was great. The overall mystery, like I said, didn't have much of a payoff. They were just like minor little things that people do, like you fuck up and like do some stupid shit. I thought those could have been a little bit more compelling, but I guess I had a preconceived notion of what it was going to be going into it, so that's on me. I think maybe the movie would have hit a little bit more if I didn't already think religion was fucking ridiculous, probably, obviously. And yeah, like we said, it's like I think it wanted to make the audience question, like, what would the church do in this situation? And for me, I'm just like, yeah, who fucking cares? Like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
So maybe it's just a me thing, but yeah, I mean, I still enjoyed it overall.
Yeah.
Any other things you guys wanted to touch on?
Apparently, this was based on a book, which is interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Apparently, it was pretty faithful adaptation of the book, according to commenters.
That's always good.
Yeah, I thought the vaping was cracking me up in this movie.
Well,
even the holiest of men need that nicotine.
Well, and again, that's where I thought the strength of the movie is that it showed all these people in a very human light. And like,
showed a pile of butts.
Yeah, they smoke cigarettes, they vape, they fuck, they have slip ups. They're not perfect people because they are just people.
That's
and
right.
like, you know, so one of them has a lack of faith. One of them's fucking, you know,
one's a drunkard.
Yeah, one's a drunk. Like, so I thought it did a really good job of making these people human beings and seeing them as not these, like, you know, more like these godlike figures if you're religious, because that's how they look. You know, people look up to these people like that. And so that's where I just felt like that last bit was just like, how does this play into the rest of, like, I get it, and you're 100% right. Like, it does those things well. I think it's just where it was inserted that it was like a twist and then ended is just like, I was just like, weird to me.
Tearing down the patriarchy, Dan.
Yeah. But yeah, it has a 7.4 on IMDb. I'm right there with it. I'd give it a 7.5 for sure.
Yeah, it's a solid 8.
Strong 7 for me.
Strong 7.
Strong.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
After trying to rewatch it a second time, I had already seen it, so I kind of passed out. I was tired anyways, but yeah.
I don't know that
good.
it would get a rewatch from me, but definitely enjoyed it for the one time.
I don't think it has like a rewatch every year type of thing.
Nah.
But I could probably rewatch it knowing the twist at the end and just looking for any type of other little things in
That's
the
fair.
movie. I could find some enjoyment in that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, that's Conclave, folks. Check it out if you haven't. If you have, leave a comment and let us know what you thought of it. Yeah, so we are now in the month of March. Our new schedule is up on our social media. Go check us out. You can hit up our website, harshlanguage.tv, for all of our links. You can join our Discord. The link will be down below if you're watching on YouTube. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing if you have not done so, and you'll be notified, every time we put out a new video. We do this once a week. If you're listening or watching over on Spotify or Apple, consider rating the show. That helps us out tremendously. It helps get the show out to other people. I think on some platforms now you could comment too on Spotify, but yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we appreciate you watching or listening, and we will catch you next week, where we are watching. What did we put up next week? I forget already.
The Gorge.
The Gorge. Yeah, everybody's talking about The Gorge. You watched that already, right, Dusty?
I have, yeah. It's a fun little movie.
Okay. Looking forward to that one. So, yeah, folks, we'll catch you next week. Thanks again for hanging out with us.
See ya.
Asta.